slicer for Fusion 360, which you don't actually have to have Fusion 360 running for the slicer program to work. We generally use this when we're going to do something with the laser cutter. And basically you can take a 3D digital file and come up with a set of plans for cutting it out of flat sheets as opposed to, say, 3D printing it. So we could import something, or for this example, I can just open up example shape. And we will go with, let's go with Rhino. Give it a second. There's our Rhino. And you can, just some general things, you can pan by right-clicking and scrolling across the screen, dragging across the screen. You can also see that you could do that, this guy up here, and that's that button anyway. Same thing. That makes it our left click. It kind of seems to disable the right click version. You can click the hand and then move it around. You can click the zoom, and you can also zoom by, I can just scroll on the mouse and zoom. But if I drag the massive zooming across, I can do that. That'll center it into the picture, and I don't know why you'd want to use this. Anyway, distorts it. So what you can do over here, and we have, depending on what the material you're going to use, we'll just set this at 8.5 by 11 for our material. So that gives us what our materials are. I mean, we can kind of modify it and figure out measure and all that stuff right now. And actually even the slot offset, if you want to make that a little bit, change that and stuff like that. We don't really need to worry about our tool diameter with our laser cutter. You could adjust the size of it, but that's, do that. But you could select construction techniques. So there's stacked slices. So then it gives you, over here you can see the whole, what's you're going to get, 23 sheets, 75 parts. And that's based off of our materials. And you could, you know, all these other kind of selections. We hit dowels, and you get where the dowels are going to go. Let's not worry about that right now. And slice direction. I can kind of adjust this to get different things going on, different looks. So the other things a lot of times people like is interlocking slices. So you can do that sort of thing too. And again, you might find that some of the odd parts end up, well, that one's actually kind of attached. If you play with slice direction there, sometimes you might end up with parts that are floating out in space, so they become a problem, like these guys right here. And I can change the number of items too. So if I don't want so many things, I want to make it simpler and click lower this number on that axis, lower that. Pretty much get to the point where you just have something very, very simple or uneven. Now I've lost connections there. So you have to kind of look at what you're doing and see what it's going to get what you want. Or I go the other way. Lots of detail. Anyhow, this is the modify form thing over here. You can kind of click on a form and move it to different places in slice to different locations. So I could move. Bring them back down. So I can kind of modify where those slices are. One of the other things that I forgot to talk about, we got interlocking slices curve. So it's going to change radial slices, has a different look. And then folded panel. It's kind of an interesting thing. Make it out, try to cut it out of cardboard. That looks like it'd be a nightmare to try to put together. Once you got something you like, let's go back to being simple. Once you got something that you either like or don't like, a few more. That's kind of interesting. You can go and get plans. You can click assembly steps too. It'll give you a start and a finish. It's giving me a cardboard here. We can go plywood. And you have a little dragger thing here, so you can see. I would screen record this so you can see. Then once you can play with that, but you can get plans, and that gives you this stuff. And then you're going to want to export. File type, you want to choose DXF. Generally what works with our laser. We import that into our laser cutter. I don't know who Fusion Team is, but and we're going to go with inches. We could export to my computer, give it a name. Save the desktop, so I'm going to throw it away. Save. So then we would take that file, or files, and put them into, and have them cut out, and you can assemble them.